cards, shuffle them up, get a good mix on them. Ask somebody, ask a guest, ask your brother, ask your sister, ask your mom, ask your dad, ask your son, ask your daughter, whatever, who, I don't know, I don't care. Ask them to cut the cards, and so they do that. They cut the cards, and we mark kind of where we cut, just for a little bit here. And now here, I don't know if you noticed this, I've got a small bowl of coffee. This is coffee grounds. It's not actually made coffee, I wish it was, but it smells good. It smells good. We're gonna come back to that in just a second here. But first, we have to see where you cut. Let's look at the card that you cut us to. You cut us down to right here. 7 of diamonds. What a great card. This is a great card. The 7 of diamonds. All right. Coffee is magic. We all know this. Coffee is magic. We're going to take a little bit of the coffee grounds here. Just a little pinch. Rub it on my arm. Rub a little bit more on my arm here. Coffee grounds. Coffee is magic. Brush that off. Brush the extra off. You can kind of see it here. I'll come up to the camera. You can kind of see it. You can kind of see, if you look carefully, it says 7 of hearts, which of course matches the card that you picked. Good job. Good job. All right, my friends, kind of a double hitter here today. This is a great trick. This is, I'm going to teach 2 things. One with the cards, and one, this arm reveal thing with how to do that with coffee. So first off, you need a deck of cards, just a standard, any old deck of cards will work. Shuffle it up, but before you really get into the trick, you have a little bit of preparation to do. There's one more thing that you need to do this trick. One more little thing. And so you're gonna pick out a card that you're gonna use. So for me, I picked the 7 of hearts. Now, you're gonna take chapstick. Any chapstick will work. Actually, soap will work for this, or deodorant will work for this too. Anything that you could kind of write on your arm with, that'll wash off later. Chapstick, for me, seems to work pretty well. So, before I do the trick, I take my chapstick, I write 7 of hearts on my arm. And because it's chapstick, it's basically invisible. Nobody's gonna notice it, nobody's gonna look at it. Okay, so you do that before you start. That's your preparation. And then you wanna have your card on the top of the deck. So right now, 7 of hearts is at the top of the deck. When I shuffle these, that 7 stays on the top. I just make sure that that happens. I let that one go last. Right now, 7 of hearts, top of the deck. This is called the crisscross force. This is a very easy way to have somebody pick the card that you want them to pick. That's called forcing a card. So, you say, would you cut the cards? Go ahead. You know, we've mixed them up, you shuffled them up. Your force card is at the top of the deck. Anybody can cut the cards. They cut off, say, about half, whatever. Put those down. Grab the rest of the cards to mark the spot. That's kind of what you say. We're going to mark the spot where you cut, and you put them in this crisscross fashion here. I don't know if you can see that on the camera. So one goes this way, one goes this way. You can just let them rest there, so that way it's really easy to come back to that. You know exactly where you're supposed to be. Talk for a second. Say, look, I've got some coffee grounds here. We're going to use these in just a second. All of this about the coffee is to take their attention away from what happened here so that they forget what exactly they did, okay? Because really, the 7 of hearts is here, and that's not exactly the card that they cut to, right? That was the top card. We're trying to change their brain just a little bit here by distracting them, talking about the coffee grounds and how we're going to use those in just a second for something interesting. So now, you say, okay, let's take a look at where you cut. And you come back here, and you go to that card. That was the previous top card of the deck, right? 7 of hearts, right here. Square this up. You can leave this wide open like that so that everybody can see it, so that there's no confusion about this. Now, because you wrote on here with your chapstick, you grab just a few pinches of coffee. You wipe that on, and the grounds will stick to the chapstick. That's kind of what happens here is that it'll stick to the chapstick. Originally, a long time ago, this was done with ashes. They would burn a piece of paper into a little bowl like this, right? And then they would take the ashes and they would wipe the ashes on their arm or someplace else. You know, that was how this trick was originally done. Now it's really easy to do it with coffee. There's a few other things that you can use. Dirt works pretty well for this too, but I think coffee smells best, so I went with coffee. So anyway, you say, great, 7 of hearts. You grab a pinch of this, you wipe that on there, and then you show, and you can see it. Even from here, I think you can see it. It says 7 of hearts. And again, this could be any card. You could write, you know, the 8 of diamonds or the Queen of clubs or whatever you wanted to have on there. It doesn't have to be a card either. This could be a shape, you know, if you knew how to force a shape on something. Or it could be, if you remember, a few days ago, I did this piece with the little pieces of paper, and we shook this up, and we had one forced piece here, and this was my prediction. You could easily do the same trick using the chapstick and coffee trick for a revelation. So 2 things. Just to recap, we've got the crisscross force. This is a classic, old, very easy, very simple, but very effective way to get somebody to pick the card that you want them to pick. So you say, once again, you say, here, we've shuffled these up, shuffle the cards, keeping your card on top. Would you cut some of the cards? And they do that, they cut off about half. You crisscross these like this, marking the spot where we cut. Oh look, we've got some coffee grounds here, or you know, some dander from your dog, whatever you need. We're going to use this in just a second, but it smells good. It kind of adds to the texture of the trick. So let's see where you cut. You cut us down to the, oh great, 7 of hearts. What a great card here. Watch carefully. This is weird. This is going to be weird. We take our coffee, we rub it on here. Look. You can see it's coming out. 7 of hearts. Have fun with this one, guys. I wanted to teach you a force with the cards. That was kind of my primary goal here, because once we learn how to force a card, we can do all kinds of things with cards. So more coming on that kind of stuff. Hope you're having fun. Go Vikings.